That hurt. That hurt for a number of reasons. One reason being the injuries are really starting to mount up for United, and we do not have the squad to be able to compete. The second reason it hurt is, well, it's Arsenal. And I'm going to be honest, Arsenal were dreadful. And for the last 20 minutes or so, Arsenal are getting run ragged by a legitimate 4 out of 10 Manchester United. Such a piped off team. Such a fucking awful fan base. And I'm thinking, I'd have took a draw before the game. Literally said take a draw before the game. We have the opportunity to win it. Now, I'm not going to put the blame on Marcus because I don't think that's the case. I think there was an opportunity that we didn't take, and it's one of those. Does the outcome become a 2-1 win for United in these circumstances? But in the dying seconds of the game, you've got Marcus goes 3v2 on Arsenal's back line. He's got an easy through ball for Højlund. He doesn't take it. And then Arsenal go and get their noses in front. United twist and gamble and try and get an equaliser. Ultimately end up conceding a third by trying to flood everybody forward. And it wasn't the story of the game. This is what's so frustrating about it now is Mr. fucking 43 formations is going to think he did something. You basically played counter-attacking football against a team that was actually trying to beat you. Which is not what Arsenal set up to do. So you don't get any credit for an accident. You know, if they deliberately set out to do that, yeah, you have to hold your hands up and say that's what they did and they did that well. And trying to go for it, just the full-time whistle's just gone and I'm just sitting here fucking wounded. So it's hard to try and be rational and go, what happened in that game? Well, what happened in that game was I thought United struggled to really play through the thirds quickly. Thought Marcus was a constant threat and looked like the more we could get it into the channel in front of him for him to run onto, the more dangerous United looked. There was an opportunity late on in the game where Marcus has done a brilliant bit of skill, danced along the touchline, played it into Højlund, who's not really had enough of a chance to be able to do anything with it. Højlund came on, looked nice and physical, give United a little bit of a focal point. And I'm sitting here thinking there's so much positive in this because the squad is ravaged. Martinez goes down injured. How long's he out for? How long's a piece of string? I have no idea. And you end the game, I don't know why Lindelof came off. You end the game with Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire on the pitch. Now, did they freeze at a corner? Would have our starting choice centre-half partnership, which is still a little bit second choice with Lindelof, have dealt with that better? Would Reguilon coming on and allowing United to maintain Reguilon for Martinez is such a similar sort of player in what they're going to offer. Could that have worked maybe and held the ball a little bit better, maybe progressed the ball a little bit better? Garnacho's offside, which I don't like where they've taken. It looks like they've taken it from his hand rather than his shoulder to me. It was such a fast VAR that it was an 88th minute, something like that. Garnacho's literally got the opportunity there to win the game for Manchester United. My first instinct was he was off because of the defender that was on the other side. I didn't see, was it Saliba? Or I don't know which defender it was that was playing him on, but either way, which I think it was Saliba, but it might have been Gabriel. Whichever the defender was that they ended up taking the VAR measurement from, I didn't see in the initial instant of the game being played. So my initial instinct wasn't to celebrate anyway, because I was like, that looked like he was ahead of the defender. I did notice. Very, very quick VAR decision, that. And it was so tight. Like when the lines are fucking touching like that, what happens? Like there's no advantage being gained when you're there like that. IFAB even said if you're getting a fucking measurer out and looking at different pixels, then you're not doing it right. It's meant to be obvious. And Arsenal fans will claim he should have had a penalty, but you shouldn't have because he dived. So let's clear that shit right up, shall we? And this comes on compounding the news this morning, last night, that the Glazers probably aren't going. And Gary Neville's pointed out a couple of times, both on social media and in the broadcast today, where he's like, he didn't actually believe that that's the case. And he might have some hope there. And he might have... I don't think he's got any information, because I think if he'd have had the information, I think the bidders would have had the information. There was something came out from Qatar saying, well, we've not been told the bidding process is over. So I think that there's things going on here with the ownership, but it's hard not to just instantly believe what you see at first glance, because you're like, well, that's the fucking truth then, isn't it? Because that's the worst possible case scenario, and that feels about right with this ownership, doesn't it? I want to talk about the game. I don't know where to talk about the game, because I hate losing to this lot. Do you know what? We've lost to Arsenal in recent years. We've lost there 6 times on the bounce at least. And we've deserved it at times. I don't think we deserved it today. You can argue we didn't deserve to win, but I don't think we deserved to lose either. United were relatively dysfunctional. Very quiet game from Casemiro. Eriksen helps make the first goal. Great goal by Marcus Rashford, by the way. Excellent ball, right in between the fullback and the centre half. I love that ball. I genuinely, I literally work on that with the lads. For the last 3 weeks, we've been working on a very specific thing like that. In fact, you can go watch Paddock FC videos. You actually see us working on that ball, exploiting that space in between the fullback and the centre half, because I fucking love that ball. It's such an effective ball. Eriksen is showing why he's in the team to play that ball. And at the other end of the pitch, 35 seconds later, showing why he probably won't be in the team much longer. Martinez looks like he points it out to him and says, get out there, go and close that down. He doesn't. He ends up in the back line. There's no reason for him to be in the back line. You've got like 4 players guarding the edge of the 6-yard box. Not needed. Delo and Martinez maybe needed to tell him, but he should know this himself, because he's had that problem a couple of times where he's followed the ball to the 6-yard line. It's obviously been taught somewhere. I don't know where. But that's not what you want him to do in those positions. You want him to look for the cutback. Your attacking midfielder should be the one that's looking for the cutback, because they should know. Where would I go? Like, as an attacking midfielder, as the ball goes to the byline in the box, you know your striker's going to get across the front post. Your opposite winger's going to get to the back post. You're looking for your 10, which is exactly where Odegaard went. You're looking for your 10 to try and hit somewhere in between the D and the penalty spot, somewhere around there, which is exactly where he went. Eriksen should know that. That's the position that I would want Eriksen to be, or Bruno to be, if United get to the byline and we look for a check back. Like, that's surely worked on. That's not good enough for me. And in the space of 35 seconds, showing the best and the worst of Christian Eriksen. And the reason why, again, the ownership have to take some culpability with this. Why was Amrabat identified so early in the window? Why? I did a video about him months ago, how this guy is going to fit into Manchester United, and then it took us until deadline day to get the guy done. So late on deadline day, by the way, they wasn't even eligible to be registered for this weekend. Would Amrabat have made a difference? 1,000,000% yes. So again, everything at this football club all results back to the owners. But I was going to say that's 2 points dropped, but it's not. It's fucking all 3, isn't it? It's a bad way to lose. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.